Quarter number 2 underway, brought to you by The Hangout every Thursday on NBA TV Canada. Make sure to tune in. As we got Austin Day doing what he does best, pulling that trigger from deep. Hits a lot of rim, but it's back on its way out. Julian Stone playing a little point forward there for the Toronto Raptors. He finally finds his point guard Kyle Lowry, who goes into the little pistol revolver action there with Aaron Gray and Morais, the scorer from Angola. Lots of fans on our Facebook page talking about him and the great stories that he's got, being named one of the top players in Africa, winning the MVP of the Africa tournament for FIBA, and now he's made his way to an NBA camp. So there's a story you can follow along with these Raptors this season. Out of bounds on the baseline, and Dwight Bikes will inbound for Team Black. Novak coming off the Amir Johnson screen baseline, and Amir's going to return the favor again with another screen. Puts up the baseline jumper. Julian Stone with the rebounds, finds Kyle Lowry early, and we're going the other way. Lowry and Gray. Swing and skip pass. Chris Wright with the pass from Julian Stone, and he goes to the rim. Austin Day is not happy with the calls going against him right now in this paint. Neither is Amir, really.
And Chris Wright, I mean, he was here in training camp with the Raptors last season.
Second season.
Yeah, so he understands, you know, one time they brought me in, I didn't make the roster. This time, I'm going to do everything I can to make this roster. They brought him back for a reason.
Yes.
They like him, so it's now up to him to get the job done. And he's been the guy, they position like that, all you can do is do all the intangibles and let the coaches make a decision on that. And he's been doing that throughout this training camp.
Our leading scorers so far through the second quarter, you can take a wild guess. You'd probably get the names right. Rudy Gay and DeMar DeRozan each with 9 points. Dwight Bikes, he's got a couple of options on these screens. He takes the Amir Johnson screen and the kick-out pass to DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan with his second triple of the game, Sharon.
And this is why the point guard position for the Raptors during training camp has been so competitive. Dwight Bikes, DJ Augustine, Kyle Lowry, these guys are all competitive. They can all play, and that has made that position that much more effective throughout this training camp period.
Kyle Lowry missed the open Aaron Gray on the baseline. Morais misses his jump shot, and Austin Day playing the point forward right now, attacking things. Leaves it for DeMar DeRozan, his old friend Amir Johnson with the screen. They find Day open for another triple, and he buries that. From downtown Halifax, Nova Scotia. Austin Day with the triple, 13-point lead for Team Black, 30-17 here in the second quarter. Do remember, running time for the first 10 minutes of each quarter is Aaron Gray putting the big body on Amir Johnson in the paint. A little tough for Amir Johnson to guard a man of the girth of Aaron Gray.
Aaron Gray may be called on a bit more this season. You know, a few more minutes here and there where he can spell.
We know you're not an Akon fan. You're a Bob Marley type of guy.
How do you know what kind of fan I am?
All right, sure. I'm going to keep the peace
I'm
right
versatile.
now. You're versatile?
I got some versatility in my musical selection.
You got some Akon in the player, that convict music?
Absolutely.
All right. The big guard, Julian Stone, using a double screen up top and reversing the ball. Rudy Gay with the high screen and roll with Quincy Acey. Skip passes across Morais using the Chris Wright screen to dump down. But DeMar, hearing his coach's words, keeping his hands active on the defensive end, and he's going into the post against a smaller guard. Oh, the move works, but he loses the ball. But Amir Johnson's there, and he's got his back. Another kind of semi-hook layup there from Amir Johnson. Really working on that, the release point of his hook shot. 60-40, a 20-point game now. Rudy with the behind the back dribble into the hook floater type deal, but that was short front rimmed. Landry Fields finds the cutting Amir Johnson, who pounds one down over Morais. Dwight Bikes likes what he sees. He gets set to check in.
Tell you what, Rudy Gay has put that size on, but he might have to get that touch back, that feel. That size might be affecting his touch right now.
A little bit of adjustment needs to be made for Rudy Gay. His group is down 22 right now, 4.5 to go. He decides to get a lot of it back with that triple attempt. No good. Amir with the rebound. Ooh, the tight handle of DJ Augustine showing out with those crossovers. Again, those Augustines, they have the tight handle. It's been known. It's genetic. DeMar DeRozan playing a little point guard as he sets things up with Amir Johnson in the high screen and roll, and the hard dribble drive to the right hand. Chris Wright reached a little bit over the top of the body, and DeMar DeRozan will be rewarded with 2 free throws. We got some big-time substitutions. Terrence Ross, Aaron Gray, and Kyle Lowry all set to check in for Team Gray. Hands on it, the steal and the poke away from Rudy Gay. Possession black, 83-55, approaching the 5-minute mark in the final frame from Halifax for the Toronto Raptors. Black and gray, intra-squad scrimmage. We've got some subs checking in as the young guys get a chance to play now. Chris Wright, Julian Stone, and Carlos Morais all check in for the gray team as Terrence Ross, Quincy Acey, and Kyle Lowry all take a breather on the bench. Stone matches up as the point guard against Dwight Bikes, who has JV diving. He goes to the oop a little late. Rudy there with the contest. He finds a wide open Landry Fields, who's now shooting 50% from 3. Rudy Gay looking for the ball in the post. He's got Landry on his back. He really wanted that pass. Morais was not able to get it. So they reverse the ball. Julian Stone, hard dribble drive. Leaves it back for Aaron Gray. Long jumper. Sherm, what's expected of these 3 young guys knowing that they're playing, of course, behind, and they'll probably get the better part of these last 4 minutes?
Well, you still got to try to impress your coaches, and you got to do the things that they've been working on all training camp. But I think more importantly, same things. And yeah, you want to be friends, but you got to understand what you're trying to accomplish, and that means you got to put it all out there when you get the opportunity.
Rudy Gay finally getting that post-up opportunity he's been looking for against Landry Fields. Shot doesn't go down, but again, a bigger Rudy Gay is a presence on the inside. He was able to get his own rebound.
It's going to be worked out throughout this preseason, and that strength hopefully will come into play with the touchback. But right now, defenders that he's been used to playing against, that's going to just, I think, expedite his process.
That's what preseason's for, folks. The Toronto Raptors head to Boston after today's matchup. Of course, they've got a matchup with the new young Celtics, and of course, Kelly Olynyk, someone who Raptors fans are pretty familiar with, being one of the bigger names in that Canada basketball program. Unable to participate this summer with the team as they were in the FIBA Americas due to some health concerns. But I anticipate he will be competing with the Celtics when things come around.
Well, he will, and talk about Jonas Valanciunas and the job he did.
Back to the action as the inbound goes to Chris Wright from Julian Stone. The young boy's getting some work in as Mr. Morais finds Julian Stone. He's ISO'd up against Dwight Bikes. Bikes with the poke away. Good defense. Finding Quincy Acey in the corner. Terrence Ross to the triple. The shot is contested. But Terrence Ross says ain't nothing I ain't seen before.
Good shot preparation by Terrence Ross right there. And Quincy Acey with good recognition, swinging that ball out of the corner to the better shooter, who was Terrence Ross.
Steve Novak's got that entire side of the court to himself, but he rotates the ball back to Bikes, who goes into the screen and roll with JV. JV dives deep for the rebound. And this Dwight Bikes guy is making quite the impression for the people in Halifax.
Well, the interesting thing about him, yes, he can run your point guard spot, but he can also score the basketball.
Morais misses the 3, and Jonas Valanciunas grabs yet another rebound. Landry Fields and Austin Day on the break. Austin Day matched up on the baseline with Quincy Acey. Quincy Acey brings in today's episode of Raptors Today.
Well, I tell you what, Quincy Acey is a guy we haven't talked about much, and he is one of those intangible guys,
yes,
hustle guys, energy guys. And there was a process that was involved to try and turn him into a 3-man defender.
Yep.
And try to help him out with that jump shot, get him a bit more proficient on the offensive end in terms of being comfortable on the perimeter.
Something he never did at Baylor.
Exactly. So he's still in a transition phase in his game, and it's going to be tough.
Well, I've identified one of the strengths currently. He's been setting some hella good screens in this game.
Hey, setting good screens is a big part of successful offense, and if he can do that, he's going to find a spot for himself.
Earlier in the game, he laid DJ Augustine flat on a nice little screen on the baseline. Austin Day with some ball movement here. They find Bikes and they find JV in the post against Quincy AC. That's not no 3 he's guarding. That's a real 5. Ooh. And you see the difference right there. Jonas Valanciunas using that shoulder and back to create space.
And that's why you want him to have the ability to defend 3s and 4s. But there you see him. That's a shot that he's worked on over the summer. But the size factor when he's guarding big NBA bodies sometimes is just too much.
Yep.
It's not about a heart issue. It's about sometimes his physical stature.
As he pushes JV out the lane, Morais with the rebound. Carlos decides to put it. He's got 2 guys on the wing. Decides to take it himself.
This guy can score too. I mean, he's aggressive. He's got a great physical body to attack the paint.
Wide shoulders.
Just a strong, young, scoring type of minded player.
Dwight Bikes is really in the zone right now. He's feeling himself. He's just doing everything proficiently, pump fakes, passes. He's really making quite the impression to me and to these fans in Halifax. You see Julian Stone running that point. And a nice spin move.
Austin Day's length just prevented Quincy Ace from even getting off the floor with the ball.
Didn't know Quincy had that spin in him. Maybe that's why they're trying to make him a 3. First free throw good for Quincy AC. We got 20 seconds left to go in this thing, folks. Do remember to tune into NBA TV for myself and Sherm's wrap-up of the festivities of training camp before these Toronto Raptors head out to Boston for their first preseason game against the Boston Celtics. Log on to Raptors.com for all the information you need on your Toronto Raptors. Full video, breakdowns, recaps, everything you need for your Toronto Raptors on Raptors.com. On behalf of Sherman Hamilton, I am Akil Augustine, wrapping things up from Halifax, Nova Scotia for the Toronto Raptors training camp. Thank you so much for watching. You are the best fans in the world. And we'll see you on NBA TV, Canada.